does. It's interesting you should mention social media because it's come up such a lot on the podcast when we've been talking about feelings of alienation, restrictions to making progress, such as a lack of mental well-being. And I've started to think more differently about social media in terms of, firstly, I was one of the people who was saying, "Oh, look at all these people. The minute something vaguely nice happens, they're all over Facebook and all over Instagram." But then that's a little unfair on them, is the first point. But the second thing is that, is it an opportunity for someone who's in a bad spot to actually say, because you were talking earlier, Sián, about small gains and about reflection and about doing something nice during the day. And if you capture that moment and you communicate it through the platform of social media, might that be something which is not only not problematic, but could it be part of the solution?
Yeah, and it totally depends on your intention behind it, how you use it. But I think a lot of people who find it hard are comparing their inner struggles to this outside polished, edited version that is being presented by other people. And that just taps into our own insecurities and our comparison. And I think for some people who have this like shiny exterior of this amazing social media feed, if they don't feel like that all the time, then that again can help make them feel lonely and isolated, even though it looks very appealing at the time.
Yeah, and you wonder what the solution is, don't you? Because that makes total sense. But the sort of genie's out the bottle now, isn't it? I mean, I remember, you're younger than me and I'm very much the oldest in the studio, but I can remember a time when you never took a photograph unless you were on your holidays. Or occasionally, my mum and dad would bring the camera when I had like a nativity play at school or something. And it was...
and you were out of shot.
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah. I was the sheep. But seriously, not only was this visual illustration of what your life is like very rare that you took it, well, no one saw it apart from close family and friends, because you got the photo album out and showed people, but only a very small number. Whereas now, the whole globe can see what you're doing, but it's there. And it makes sense to me that it could be the cause and the driver of alienation and demoralization if someone feels that the whole world's having a great time apart from them. But what's the solution now, bearing in mind we're probably not going to persuade Instagram just to wrap up their business and put it into runoff? Where do we go from here?
So, we've been flooded really with lots of options for busyness, haven't we? In, say, like the last 20 years, in half my life that was undocumented as well. And like you said, you'd wait till the next day to speak to someone. You wouldn't know what they'd had for dinner and what they'd done that evening as well. So I suppose the solution is the intention on how we use it. We haven't really caught up with the massive transformation of technology in our lives. The idea that you'd have your phone all the time, you'd use it for everything, would have been crazy, 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So management of our behavior with our phone and all of those apps, knowing that it's someone's job to make them addictive, to make them, they've got people who use our psychology to make you use more, whether it's good or bad for us. So it's, again, just understanding that behind the scenes, there's that manipulation in place, and you could go on it and use it and connect to people and enjoy that experience. And if you're not, then you can just rein it in, have a break from it. I regularly try to take breaks from, my phone use, put it in a different, there's lots of really simple ways of having it in a different room, making it a bit more awkward to use. One thing that's been really a real game changer for me is grayscale in your phone. If you've ever done that, it's in one of the settings. You just put it, everything is black and white and grey.
Oh, okay.
And it just is really unappealing to use it. So if you did that, if you found that, maybe late evening is the time when you use your phone the most and you don't want to, or, you'd rather not use that time, putting it on some setting like that just really makes it less appealing.
I've got to do something around this, because I'm not great. I always have my phone in reaching distance. And that includes like taking it to bed with me, and I use it for my alarm.
Yeah.
And again, you think they've been so clever in terms of building these functional tools in, which are so useful. Everything from the light on the phone to the calculator, all these different things, the notes, all of these things, but it means it's of functional use. Have you seen The Social Dilemma on Netflix?
No, I haven't seen it. I think it sounds terrifying.
Oh, good God. Yeah, I was hiding behind the couch at one stage. I mean, it is... I don't think any of the social media companies set out with like a malevolent intent that they wanted to create platforms which were the cause of any adverse effect upon people's mental well-being. I think they've been commercially driven in terms of their motivations. These are to some extent unintended consequences. That's my perhaps slightly optimistic hope. But in terms of where we go from here, as far as I can see, the only solution is around what you've talked about us taking some personal responsibility. Like me, I really should be leaving my phone downstairs. I really should be adopting some of the strategies you break some social media. It really is the classic scenario that we need to start thinking of it as moderation is okay, but addiction isn't.
Yeah, and we never, I never joined Facebook or Instagram to think that I would check it daily. That, again, would feel absurd when you first started doing it. But it's just reeling back the balance, just getting balance back. If we don't have to be, even think of it as in a heavy way, it's just regaining balance, just getting an alarm clock and then just putting your phone on airplane mode. So even when your alarm goes off, I hear it with clients all the time, their alarm goes off and all they see is all the missed messages and emails straight away. So you're not giving yourself time to even breathe, as you just open your eyes. So if you have it on airplane mode, then those things don't ping through straight away. You
That's
just
a
have
good
your alarm.
suggestion.
Have, a little positive statement or a mantra or something as your alarm. And I've, include lots of tips, in the Spirant group of how to have a better morning routine and how important that is for setting you up for the day. And, just being grateful for that. It's a day ahead. I try to, as I put my feet on the floor, in my head, say to myself, thank you that I'm here in that day. And so my children don't always allow me to feel and express that gratitude straight away because I'm responding to, their needs. But it just gives a different quality to the day ahead.
And that gratitude and that being in the moment and feeling fulfilled is something which really can set you up nicely for the day.
Yeah, that it's not all taken for granted.
No, absolutely.